What's up? What's up? What's up? Facebook. What's up? What's up? YouTube. We're Breaking Strongholds Ministries. How you all doing this afternoon? How you all doing this afternoon? I'm late, man. I'm late. My mind been everywhere this morning. This afternoon. How y'all doing this afternoon? I'm sorry I'm late. I just been having so much stuff going on in my head. Everything going on. Trying to just get settled with everything that's taking place. You know? How y'all doing? I hope your week has been a great week. I hope the Most High really truly blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and joy. I hope the Most High really have truly blessed your offsprings with wisdom and knowledge and understanding. I hope the Most High really have truly blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and joy. I hope the Most High really truly have blessed everyone this week. I really truly hope He has. My week has been a stressful week this week. I ain't gonna say stressful, but it's been a week this week. I can complain, but I am not going to complain because this is the day that the Most High have made. So let us be glad and rejoice in it this afternoon, this week, and everything that's going on. I do understand that sometimes let me just go ahead and get started because I have a lot to talk about today, and I hope I can probably get all of it done within the hour and a half and everything. So let us go ahead and get started. Let us turn to Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. And it reads, Ananiah spake out these words, saying, I am Yahuwah that Ananiah, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And thou shalt have no other Ananiah before me, and thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah, that Ananiah am a jealous Ananiah, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah that Ananiah in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah thy Ananiah. In it thou shalt not do any works, thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughter, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore if Yahuwah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, honor thy fathers and thy mother, that thy day be long upon the land which Yahuwah thy Ananiah giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservants, nor his maidservants, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Let us pray. O creators of the heavens and earth, of our radiance and vibrations, soften the grounds of our beings and carve out a space with us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear fruits of our missions. Let each of our actions bear fruits in accordance with our desires within your purpose for our life. Be stores with the wisdom of produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled thread of destiny that binds us as we release others from their entanglement of the past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which distracts us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of present moments. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the creator and power and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. So let it be. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. This is the day that the Most High have made. So let us be glad and rejoice in it. So if you could turn the Bible to the book of Daniel. Turn the Bible to the book of Daniel. Daniel's chapter 4, verses 4 through 18. And the key verse is going to be verse 17.
You said 4 what?
Daniel chapter 4, verses 4 through 18. And the key verse is verse 17. And the key verse is, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demands by the words of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whosoever he will, and set it up over it the base of man. Let me read it over again. It says, this is by the decree of watchers, and it demands by the words of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the base of man. And if I may give a title of the text today, the title of the teachings today is, not your will, but his will be done. The title of the text again is not your will, but his will be done. And if I may give 2 words today, the 2 words today is trump. T-R-U-M-P. It's a 15th century word. And the word trump means a winning card. One of the suits of cards which takes any of the other suits, takes over any of the other suits. To reduce to the least, to reduce to the last measure, or to the uttermost excursion of power. Let me read that over. I'm all over the place this morning, so forgive me. Okay, the word trump means a winning card. One of the suits of cards which takes over any other suit. To reduce to the last measures, or to the utter forces of power. Okay? That's what trump means. It's a 15th century word. And the word trumpet means, the word trumpet is a 1520 word as well. It says published by the sounds of a trumpet. The figurative sense of proclaim to exalt noise abroad. One who praises or propagate praise, or is the instrument of propagating it. A great politician was pleased to be the trumpet of praise. That means to proclaim, to exalt noise abroad. One who praise or propagate praise. One who wants praise. Trumpet means a person that sounds the horn, or one who wants to be praised. That's what trumpet means. One who wants to be praised. Okay? So, if I may give a title, like I just said, I gave the title of the text, but also let us go to Jeremiah chapter 27, verse 6. I have read this before. Chapter 27, verse 6. And it reads, "And now have I given all these lands into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. And the beasts of the fields have I given him also to serve him." Okay? Let us have that in the back of the mind. When the Most High said, "And now I have given all these things, all these lands into the hands of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant. And the beasts of the fields have I given him also to serve him." Okay? So, when we're starting to look at this text, right? And we're starting to look at what was actually going on during this time period. This is when the children of Israel was taken into captivity by Babylon. And they was taken into captivity by Babylon. And they was made to be servants to the Babylonian Empire. Right? So when they was taken into captivity to serve the Babylonian Empire, King Nebuchadnezzar was in charge. And he was in charge. And he was basically running the kingdom the way he wanted to run the kingdom. And he did things the way he wanted to do it. And it was nothing that the children of Israel or anybody else could do anything about. And that was something that we truly had to understand. And that's something that we truly had to understand. We had to understand that Nebuchadnezzar was in charge, and he was put in that position to control the world because of what the children of Israel was doing and had done on the earth. Because our kingdom was being controlled by, the children of Israel kingdom was being controlled by a wicked king, and he was not doing the right thing. He had made covenants with Nebuchadnezzar, and when he made a covenant with Nebuchadnezzar, he went against Nebuchadnezzar, and he also went against the Most High. So the Most High allowed Nebuchadnezzar to rule and take over the kingdom. And how do we know this? Let us go to Daniel chapter 1, verses 1. Okay, it says, "In the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem to besiege it." And that's when Jehoiakim was in charge of our kingdom. But he made a covenant with Nebuchadnezzar. He did not make a covenant with the Most High. And when he made that covenant with Nebuchadnezzar, it went against everything that the Most High wanted him to do. And that's something that he had to understand. So the Most High sent Nebuchadnezzar to conquer and enslave the children of Israel. It says in the verse 2, it says, and the Lord gave Jehoiakim king of Judah into his hands, with part of the vessels of the house of Ananiah, which he carried into the lands of Shinar to the house of his God. And he brought the vessels into the treasures. And so when the king of Judah made a covenant with Babylon and he went against the Most High allowed Nebuchadnezzar to take him into captivity. But let me say something to you all about this week. The election didn't go the way you really wanted it to go. And a lot of people was very, very upset about that. And a lot of people are upset with European women because of what they thought the European women was going to do. They thought what the European women was going to do. The African American sisters or the Hebrew sisters thought that the European women was going to vote on their side and be on their side in the midst of this election. And the thing about it is that our sisters, and I've been looking at TikTok for the last 2 days, like everybody else, our sisters are upset with the European women. And they are also upset with the Hispanic women. But let me ask you a question. Why would someone vote against their interests for you? Why would somebody vote against their interests for you when they understand that life is about competition? When they understand that life is about power, life is about dominance, life is about the person with the best access to resources. Why would they vote an Indian immigrant into being president, and then it can associate them that you can associate that with yourself and put them at the bottom and them putting you over them? Why would they vote this woman into president so that you can have more rulership and more say so over them than they do? Why would they do that? Why would they vote this European? Why would they vote this woman over themselves, or put this person over, put you over them? Why would they do that? It is very illogical for you to vote against your own interests and your own purpose. But I do understand that African American sisters have been voting against their own interests and doing things against their own interests since the early 20s. Even though you may want to put somebody else before you, that don't mean that somebody else is going to be willing to put somebody else before them. That is not always the case. Somebody is not going to always put another culture people over their own culture. So you can't really get mad with these people because they voted for their own purpose, their own interests. You got to get mad with yourself because you haven't been voting for your own interests, and you haven't been doing for your own. You haven't been doing for your own interests. You can't get mad with people because they haven't voted for you, voted the way you wanted them to vote. You can't get mad with brothers who did not decide to put a lady in charge of the United States of America. You can't get mad because of that. Because the last 50 years, women have been in charge of the household. Women have been controlling the house. Women have been dominating the house. Women have been the main voice of the house. You can't get mad when men decide to say, hey, I'm tired of a woman being in charge. It's not that he has something against women, it's just that it is time for a change. And I remember in my homeowners association, it was women that's been in charge of our homeowners association for the last 4 years. And it was time for an election, a vote, but the lady did not want to get out. I'm not saying that she did a bad job or a good job, but what I'm just saying is sometimes it's always good, it's good for a change. Sometimes we have to sit down and look at things from a spiritual viewpoint and not think that women going to rule the world or be in these positions for this whole duration. Because if Kamala Harris would have been in charge of the United States, it would have been going against the Bible. So even when the woman is in charge of the house, literally now it is going against the Bible. So I'm going to be honest with you, sisters. You can't get mad with people when they didn't vote the way you wanted them to vote. Because they was voting for their own interest. You can't get mad if a man did not vote for Kamala Harris. Because they was voting for their own interest. And a lot of the times you have to vote for your interest. And you did vote for your interest. So you can't get mad if you didn't come out the winner this time. Just hope that the next time that it happens, you come out to being the winner. But you cannot criticize or scrutinize somebody else because they made a decision that was suitable for them and their ethnicity and their people. Because you have to look at the population rate, the birth rate, you got to look at the age, the average age of each ethnicity. You got to look at all of these things when we're talking about voting and putting all this stuff into perspective. You can't get mad with people about it. But also it's much deeper than that. Everything that we're going through in this situation now is so much greater and deeper than what we think it is. And we cannot take it personal because it wasn't suitable for you at this time. You can't get mad about that. Because at the end of the day, we have to say, okay, in Luke chapter 22 verse 42. Like in Luke chapter 22 verse 42, it says, saying, Father, if thou willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. And see, that's what we have to understand, and we got to get out of the emotions. We got to get out of the physical realm and understanding that we're walking in spiritual realms. So if we really truly want the blessings of the Most High, we have to truly say at all times, not my will, Father, but thy will be done. Because it is all everything that is happening in the earth today, it is happening the way the Father wanted to happen and not the way man wanted to happen. And when we come to that logical viewpoint, we can accept things so much better. And it's not a personal attack against you. It's not a personal attack against me. It's just the way the Father wants things to be. That's why the title of my text is, not your will, but His will be done. And I have heard where it is a great uproar where women are very upset, talking about how to poison people because they didn't vote for Kamala, how they are wishing police officers put their foot on the necks of black men who didn't vote. It's a lot of horrific things going on out here now where sisters are upset because this person or people didn't vote the way they wanted them to vote. But you got to look at it from a spiritual sense. If we're trying to get our life right, are we doing things the way we want to do things or the way the Father wants us to do them? And when we come to understand that if we want the blessings of the Creator, we got to do what the Creator wanted us to do and how He wanted us to do it. And not the way we want to do things and think we're going to get the blessings of Him, from Him. That ain't the way it works. Because at the end of the day, the Most High have a plan for His children. And we got to abide in that plan. We can't go against His plan. That's what we got to understand. So, I'm saying that to you, the sisters, this today, because it's a lot of angry sisters. They talking about we're going to put on the blue bracelet. Talking about they're going to do all these things. They're going to stay out of... But at the end of the day, we got to say, this is the Father's will. This is the Father's will. And you got to accept that. Accept that. So, because this is talking about, it's no different than the text or the teachings today about what it says in chapter 7 and in Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. We got to understand that the Creator is doing everything for a divine reason and purpose. The Creator is doing everything for a divine reason and a divine purpose. Now I want us to understand this. Let's go to Ephesians. Some people forget this. Some people forget this so much. And because they forget it, they get into their emotions about things that's happening in the earth. They get in their feelings about things that's happening in the earth. And you cannot get into your feelings about things on the earth. It's more than what you see. In Ephesians 6 and 12 it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Ananiah, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil days, and have done all to stand. See, we have to understand that the devil was cast down here on the earth, and the governments are being ruled by the Hashatan of the devil. So if the government is being ruled by the Hashatan of Satan, why should we be mad that one of the people that didn't make it into the office get into office? Because the other person is still being ruled by the devil. Because the devil is ruling the world at the time. Let me show you this. Okay, let us go to Revelation chapter 12. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. And we're talking about a spiritual a spiritual person, a spirit. Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. And the reason prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. The great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels was cast out with him. So if we understand that the devil was cast out of the heavens and the devil is ruling the earth, who do you think is ruling the governments at this point in time? If the devil is ruling the world, why are we so mad that one or the other person didn't get into office? Because they're still part of the same agenda. They're still part of the same program. They are still part of the same people who's doing wickedness upon the earth. So why are we upset? Is it because we're upset because we didn't get what we want? Or we didn't get what the Most High wanted to put on the earth? And who is it actually about? Is it about you, or is it about the Father's will? And see, that's something we got to think about. Everything that we do, and if we're trying to get our life right back in this day and time, are we trying to do the Father's will, or are we trying to do our will? Are we trying to do the Father's purpose, or are we trying to do my purpose? Are we trying to live the way we want to live, or are we trying to live the way the Father wants us to live? That's something that we got to think about. Because if the European women thinking that they're trying to live for the Father, and they don't want to have they got the legal right up under the state law to have the AB, why are they still voting for something that they already got? Or is it something bigger than that? So we got to get out of our emotions when we're looking at things and look at things from spiritually. Because at the end of the day, Donald Trump finna bring in judgment too. Donald Trump finna bring on severe judgment in the land. He really is. And I'm finna read you these. I'm finna read you a couple of articles, and then I'm finna get to the text. Okay. I just read you that Trump means, Trump means a winning card. One of the suits of cards which takes over any other suit. It means to reduce to the last measure or the uttermost force of power. Okay? So now let us go to something. I'm going to read you a couple of articles. MSNBC. Trump can't stop talking about how much he loves tariff. Tariff are taxes. So from now on, everything that's coming over here to the United States, Trump gonna put a 200% tariff on every item that come into the United States. So that means that everything that comes into the United States gonna have to pay a 200% tax on it, and that 200% is gonna be rolled over onto the consumer. That means that we're getting ready to have hyperinflation because of the 200% tariff on products. But let me read a little bit. It says, former President Donald Trump waxed poetic about his love of tariff again on Friday, including his love for the word itself. Speaking at a roundtable with voters in Auburn Hill, Michigan, the Republican presidential nominee said he thinks tariff is the most beautiful word in the dictionary. You have other words that a damn nice love. You have other words that are nice, damn nice, like love, Trump said, while others in the room laughed. But I tell you, I think is more beautiful than love. So what Trump is telling you, that everything that comes into the United States is going to be a 200% tax on it. So he's getting ready to bring a great depression into the country. Okay? Then it says this one on MSNBC. Israel and Iran war. Trump will give Netanyahu a blank check to strike Iranian regime. Ex-CIA chief reveals. Okay? So, when we're looking at that, everything has to take place in order for the New World Order to happen. Everything must take place in order for the New World to happen. And that is what Trump is going to bring into office. The New World Order. Okay. Elon Musk and Neuralink. Okay. What is Neuralink? What we should know. What we know so far. Okay. Neuralink is a company founded by Elon Musk in 2016. That's developing a brain-computer interface called the Link, which is surgically embedded neural chips implanted designed to decode and stimulate the brain activity. Neuralink planted its first device in a patient brain in January 2024. The patient who is paralyzed below the shoulder should use Neuralink device to play chess and is now using it from learning French and Japanese. That is part of Revelation chapter 12. Where the man, you're going to have to take a mark of the beast. You're going to have to take a mark. Elon Musk is part of this. Okay? Also, Elon Musk agreed. Trump economy's plans will lead to hardship and cause markets to tumble. That's also in independent news. Okay, and it says, the world's wealthiest man appears to believe that a Donald Trump presidency must crash the economy in order to benefit Americans. Elon Musk agreed on Tuesday that the proposed drastic cuts to the federal government copes with Trump's sweeping deportation will likely cause global markets to tumble. So we have to understand that the Most High is moving because of everything that is going on in the earth and what Babylon has done to the world. What the United States has done to the world, it is just judgment. Okay, so let us go back to Daniel. I want to do this. Let us go back to Daniel chapter 4. Daniel chapter 4, verse 7, let's just start because I got to go to Jeremiah. Because I want you to really understand what is really going on in the world. Because what you think it is not what it actually is. What Donald Trump is getting ready to do is bring in the New World Order. That's what Donald Trump is getting ready to do. That's what he's getting ready to do. He's getting ready to bring in the New World Order here in the United States. He's getting ready to crash the markets. 70% of the jobs getting ready to be lost. The new Fed coin is getting ready to take place. All these things are getting ready to happen within the next 2 years. That's why Elon Musk said, Elon Musk agreed on Tuesday that proposal drastic cuts to the federal government coupled with Trump's sweeping deportation will likely cause global markets to tumble. So, when we're looking at this verse in Daniel chapter 4, it was about the Most High sending a message to Nebuchadnezzar of his upcoming judgment, and because of his upcoming judgment, why he's being judged the way he's being judged. That's what the Most High is really doing. He's sending Nebuchadnezzar a dream on why he's getting ready to go through the things that he's getting ready to go through. And see, I was looking at this thing. I said, okay, I pulled it up. It says medical news today. What does it mean when we dream? Dreams are stories and images that our mind create while we sleep. Dreams may have some benefits such as sleep as helping the brain process information gathering during the day. But it also is, from biblical sense, a message. Dreams are messages. That's right, Greg. Job 9:22. Let me read it for you. Job 9:24. Job 9:24, it says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So we got to understand, and we got to get out. Thank you, Brother Greg, for that. We got to get out of the mindset that the world is given into the hands of the righteous when it's not actually given into the hands of the righteous. So when we're voting for these people, we got to understand that these people are actually wicked people doing the deeds of the devil. So our sisters need to get out of their emotions because this person didn't win the election, because there's no benefit in her winning. It's only death. This lady instituted prostitution would be legal. So we got to get out of that emotion. We got to get out of that mindset. So now, when we're looking at it, dreams are messages from the Most High to the people so that they can truly understand what's actually going on and what's getting ready to happen. Okay? Dreams and angels and messages. Okay? It says, I'm going to read all of it. It says, I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in my house and flourishing in my palace. Listen to his conversation. Listen to his mindset. Listen to his language. Listen to everything that is going on. Happy Shabbat Shalom, brother. Listen to everything that is going on in Nebuchadnezzar's mind. He's not giving praise to the Most High for what he have. He's acting as if he is the king. He is the man that created all this stuff. He says, I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in my house and flourishing in my palace. I dreamed a dream which made me afraid. And the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me. See, the Most High send us dreams and visions before it even happened, so that we can be aware of the upcoming events that's going to take place. That's why so many people out here now preparing for what's to come, because they have been given dreams and visions. That's why I started doing what I do. That's why I have been the way I was, because the Most High gave me a dream. And we have to function. We got to write those dreams down, and we can't take those dreams lightly. It says, therefore made I a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. Then came in the musicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the smoothsayers. And I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. See, a lot of the times, heathens or pagans or idolaters cannot interpret the dreams that the Most High have given the people, because they don't have a dream, they don't have a relationship with the Creator or the gift of interpreting dreams. So if they don't have the gift of interpreting dreams, they can't be able to interpret it, because the Most High did not give them that skill and that ability. That's why they wasn't able to interpret a dream. That's why some people can't speak in tongues, because the Most High did not give them that ability to do it. Because when we're talking about the Holy Spirit means gift and abilities. That's all it means. That you have connected yourself with the great Spirit, that He has given you an ability to be used for Him and by Him. I have a gift of speaking in tongues. I have a gift of prophecy. I'm not calling myself a prophet. I'm telling you, the Most High comes to me in dreams and He gives me biblical prophecies. He has given me the ability to speak in tongues. So the reason why the Chaldeans and the musicians and the astrologers and the smoothsayers was not able to interpret a dream, because the Most High didn't give them that ability, because they did not worship the Most High. Okay? Verse 8. It says, but at the last Daniel came in before, whose name was Belshazzar, according to the name of my Ananiah, in whom is the spirit of the holy God. And what this is saying, that Daniel had this. Everybody knew that Daniel had the Holy Spirit upon him. Everybody knew that the Holy Spirit is upon Daniel. And everybody knows that who has the Spirit of God on them and who don't have the Spirit of God on them. So you can't fool somebody when you're thinking that you trying to impersonate that you have the Holy Spirit on you, when they know you don't have it. And some people know that you have the Holy Spirit on you, and you don't have to tell them. People know you by your actions and what you say and how you do things. People know your skills and your abilities. That's why they will know you by your fruit. Okay? Then it says, verse 8 again, it says, but at the last Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belshazzar, according to the name of my God, the Babylonian God, in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. And before him I told the dream, saying, Belshazzar, masters of the musicians, because I know that the Holy Spirit of God is in thee, and no secret troubles thee, tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof. See, they knew that Daniel had the gift of interpretation. They knew that Daniel had the abilities to be able to tell people dreams. They knew that about Daniel. They knew his skills and his abilities. They knew that, okay? So, when we're looking at it, right? They knew that Daniel, he had that skills and abilities. Let us go to verse 9, verse 10. It says, "This was the vision of my head and my bed. And I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great." Listen to the dream, because we're talking about, this is the part of the interpretation of the dream. This is the part about the interpretation of the dream. And let us listen to this very carefully. Because once the Most High sends you a dream, you're going to need to be able to have somebody to interpret that dream for you, so you can understand the message that is coming down. Because the Most High send you dreams and send you messages through dreams and vision, and also through people. Okay? Verse 10 it says, "Thus were the visions of my head. In my bed I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth. The height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached to heaven, and the sight thereof to the ends of all the earth. The leaves thereof was fair, and the fruits thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadows under it, and the fowls of the heavens dwelled in the dew thereof, the broth thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. I saw the vision in my head and upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and a holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said, Thus, heave down the tree, and cut off his branches, and shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit, and let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stumps of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the fields, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portions be with the beast in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him. And let 7 times pass over him. This manner is by the decree of the watchers, and the demands by the words of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the base of men. This dream I, Nebuchadnezzar, had seen, and now though Belshazzar declared the interpretation thereof, for as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee. See, the Most High was giving a warning to Nebuchadnezzar that his nation was about to fall, and he was about to fall because of the things that he did. Even though Nebuchadnezzar was in this position, thinking that he was this and thinking he was that, and wanted to be the ruler of the whole world, the reason why he had to fall to the earth is because of this. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 51. Jeremiah chapter 51. Let us go to verse 20, I guess. I'll start from down. Now let us go to verse 22. No, let us go to verse 23. Because we got to understand that the kingdom of Babylon was wicked. And the Most High had to do things. The Most High put Nebuchadnezzar in place to discipline the children of Israel. So now because of what Nebuchadnezzar did, the Most High have to punish him. In Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 23 it reads, And I will break in pieces with thee the shepherds and his flocks, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yokes of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldean all their evil that they had done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahuwah. See, we got to understand that Babylon was a wicked place. Did some wicked things. And it says, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountains, saith Yahuwah, which destroy all the earth, and I will stretch out my hands upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundation, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith Yahuwah. Set up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nation against her. Call together against her the kingdom of Iraq, meaning Ashkenaz. Appoint a captain against her. Cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillar. The mighty men, go down to verse 30, it says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes. Their might has failed because, and they became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another. One messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that this city is taken at one end, and that the passages are stopped, and the reed they have burned with fire, and the means was of war affrighted. See, the Most High is going to do this to Babylon and Nebuchadnezzar because of the wickedness that he did to the people. But we have to go, let us go back to Daniel chapter 4. But we have to understand this. Verse 17 in Daniel chapter 4. Everything must take place because he said, my word shall not go out and come back void. Everybody has to deal with judgment. Everybody has to go through the pain and suffering. Everybody is being used as an instrument for the Most High. Everybody is. He said, this is the matter of this is the matter by the decree of the watchers. The watchers are angels, and the demands by the word of the holy ones. See, we have to understand that. I have that. Yeah. We have to understand that it's never about us in anything that we do. The Most High is using people to do things for his divine purpose. And the watchers are here to make sure that it comes to fruition. And see, we can get mad because Kamala Harris didn't win. We can get mad because of that. But it wasn't the Most High's will that she win. Because Kamala Harris wasn't going to push the New World Order. Kamala Harris wasn't going to bring in AI technology. See, Kamala Harris wasn't going to bring in the Fed coin. Because that wasn't her agenda. That wasn't Kamala Harris' agenda, was to bring in AI technology. It wasn't Kamala Harris' agenda to start a war with Iran. It wasn't her agenda to cut probably 50% of the jobs in the United States government. It wasn't her job to cut the educational department. Her agenda was to bring on the immorality of the country. But Donald Trump's job is to bring in the New World Order. Let me see something. Hold on, let me pull something else up for you. Okay. On Good Morning America. On Good Morning America. On November the 8th. GMA. On Good Morning America. GMA. Putin say New World Order is taking shape in speech after Trump's win. Putin say New World Order is taking shape in speech after Trump's win. See, what we think, the way we think things supposed to go is not the way it's really divine to go, because the Most High's got bigger plans. He say, your thoughts are my thoughts, your ways are not my ways. What you think supposed to happen ain't the way I want it to happen. So get out of your feelings, think that somebody betrayed you because they didn't vote the way you wanted them to vote. They voted the way I wanted them to vote because they are pushing an agenda for me. But you can't comprehend that because you're thinking the way you want to think and not the way I want you to think. Go to Revelation chapter 13. Verses 16. Verses 16. Let us go to verse 15. Let us go to verse 15. Let us go to verse, go on back up a little bit. Let us just go to verse 11. Let's go to verse 11. And it reads, Revelation chapter 13, verse 11, it says, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. He exercised all the powers of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he does great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. He deceived them that dwells on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwells on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which he had the wounds by a sword and did live. I want y'all to understand, Donald Trump got gold coins with his face on them right to this day. You can go pull it up. Go pull it up. Donald Trump got gold coins with his face, his face on the image of the gold coins. Donald Trump got now covers of him holding his fist up that can go over a credit card. Donald Trump have all those things now. Donald Trump have all these things now. See, this is an image of Donald Trump with this gold coin. This is an image of Donald Trump on his face with the with the gold coins. So now his face is on that image. His face is on currency. And it hasn't been many presidents that had a face on the gold currency the way he does. You can even pull it up where his face is going to be covered over credit cards and ATM cards now. So when we're looking at this situation, you can't get mad because Kamala wasn't in office, because that wasn't the Most High purpose to have her in office. It was Donald Trump's purpose to be in office because he named Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Kamala Harris didn't have that abilities, nor did she have the skill. Why? Because Donald Trump is pushing in the New World Order. I just read you what Putin said. So let us go back to Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now when Elon Musk get rid of 60 to 70% of the jobs in the United States, and it's going to be famine for 2 years because nobody's going to bring any products over here to the United States of America because the tariff or the tax is going to be too high. The only way that you're going to be able to eat is to worship the image that's on that coin. That's the only way you will be able to eat. But it's not your will, it's the Most High's will, because everything has to take place in the way it's supposed to take place. Let us go to verse 16. Now he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Neuralink is a company founded by Elon Musk in 2016 that developed a brain-computer interface, the link, which is surgically embodied neurochips implanted designed to decode and stimulate brain activity. Neuralink implanted its first device in a patient brain in January 2024. The patient, who is paralyzed below the shoulder, has used the Neuralink device to play chess and is now using it to learn French and Japanese. Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, and save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. See, we're getting mad because Kamala didn't win. Because that's our personal want. But none of us said, let thy will be done, Father. Even when Yeshua or Jesus was on the cross, he could have brought 1,000 legions down there. He could have got 1,000 angels to come down there and get him out, but he didn't. Because he had to surrender to the Father's will on earth. And that's what we fail to do, is the Father's will and not our will. A lot of us are selfish. A lot of us are self-centered. A lot of us are spoiled children. Wanting what we want, how we want it, the way we want it, and think the world revolves around us. And that ain't the way the Most High do it. Now let us go back to chapter 17 in Daniel. Chapter 4 and verse 17 in Daniel. I'm going to deal with three points. I got about 20 minutes. Because I want us to understand something. We have to be very humble in this day and time. A lot of us are not humble. A lot of us are arrogant. A lot of us are self-centered. A lot of us are spoiled. But living in this world today is never about you, but it's always about you. It's always about what you can do for somebody else. That's what we should do, be looking out for our neighbor. Love our neighbor as thyself. It's never about you as an individual, though. Because if you have a family, it can't just be about you in the midst of your family. It's got to be about your husband. It's got to be about your kids. If you're married, it's got to be about your husband. Your husband got to be about your wife. It's always about somebody other than you, because it's always about you, because at the end of the day, the Most High going to say, what did you do? Let me do something for you. Go to Revelation chapter 20. Verses 12. It's never about you, but it's always about you. Understand that it is never about you, but it's always about you. It was never about Jesus, but it was always about Yeshua the HaMashiach. And I saw the dead, great, small and great, and stand before Ananias. And the books was open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead was judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works. So you're going to be judged by what you do on earth. And what you do on earth should never be about you. It should always be about people around you. It should always be about the people you are around and not about you. Because in return, it's going to come back to you. You're going to get the honor, glory, and praise. Then in verse 13 it says, and the sea gave up the dead which was in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which was in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, and this is the second death. So if you live in your life as selfishness and self-centered, and it's about you, God gonna judge you according to your works. But if you lived your life according to taking care of other people and making sure that everybody else is taken care of, and in return, God gonna make sure you're taken care of, you're gonna be all right. Because I talked, and the Spirit was showing me this example this morning, right? It says in Proverbs 11 and 8. It says, the righteous is delivered out of the hand of troubles, and the wicked cometh in his stead. An hypocrite with his mouth destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. And when I was reading that this morning, the Most High said to me, he said, you knew a lady who was with a man who had HIV. And she was active with the man that had HIV. But because she was a righteous person, she never received the HIV. But the man who had the HIV died from HIV. Because the man was doing wickedly upon the earth, he died. But the lady who lived and who was just trying to do righteous, she never contracted, and she's still living to this day. So you're being judged by according to what you do on this earth. So however you treat people, the way you treat people, whatever it is, it's going to come back on you tenfold. That's why Babylon's going to get double for their trouble. But let us go back to Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. And I want us to understand something. That's why I'm saying, not your will, but his will be done. Then I'm going to break it down in 3 different points. The first point is the angels. It says, this matter is by decree of the watchers. The watchers are angels. And the demand by the word of the holy ones. The angels are the ones to deliver the message, or to deliver whatever people in society receives. The angels are the ones that do all of these things. Let us go to 1 Kings chapter 22. Verses 19 and 20. See, the Most High don't have to come down here and do it, because the simple fact is he got workers to do it for him. So why should he come down there and do the work when he got workers to do it for him? 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 19 and 20, and it reads, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahuwah. I saw the Yahuwah sitting on his throne, and all the armies of heaven standing by him, on his right hand and on his left hand. And Yahuwah said, who shall persuade Ahab, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahuwah, and said, I will persuade him. And Yahuwah said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. See, the angels are the ones that are doing the work. Because the angels are testing our hearts right now. The angels are doing this, not Yahuwah, because Yahuwah is just sitting on the throne. He got angels all around him. And he's asking the angels, who's going to go out there and do this to Ahab? And one of the angels said, okay, I'll go down to Ahab and put a lying tongue in front of all the prophets' mouths, so that Ahab can set itself up. Hey, and see, we got to look at this. We don't know what spirit was in the spirit of the women who voted against you. And we don't know what spirit is in you who voted for her. You got to pray and ask, Father, what spirit is in me to want me to vote for this lady? And what spirit is in them that want them to vote for that man? Because it's a spirit that causes us to move one way or another. It's just up to us on which spirit we have in us. Let me read it out again for you so you can comprehend it. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahuwah. And I saw Yahuwah sitting on his throne, and all the armies or the host of heaven standing by him, on his right hand and on his left hand. And Yahuwah said, who shall persuade Ahab? Listen to that. Who shall persuade Ahab? Who shall persuade Ahab? Who's persuading you to do whatever you're doing? Who's persuading you to make the decisions that you are making? Who are guiding your tongue? Who's guiding your thoughts? Who's guiding everything about you? Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahuwah, and said, I will persuade him. See, that's what we got to think about. Who guiding our thoughts? Who's guiding our words? Who's guiding our mouth? Who's guiding us to make the decisions that we make? So why was these sisters so upset? Because they did not get the person they wanted into office. Who was guiding their thoughts? What was there, and why was it such a great need for them to get mad with people? Because them people didn't vote the way they wanted them to vote. Let's go to Job. Chapter 1. 7 through 12. And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Whence cometh forth? Which cometh thou? Then answered Yahuwah and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and walking up and down in it. And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth Yahuwah and eschew evil? Then Satan answered Yahuwah and said, Doeth Job fear Ananiah for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he has on every side? Thou hast blessed the works of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But now this is Yahuwah saying, but put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he has, and he will curse. No, this is Satan called. He said, but put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he has, and he will curse thee to thy face. And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Behold, all that he has is in thy hands. Only upon himself put not forth thy hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahuwah. So when we look at situations, we got to ask the question, Most High, what are you doing in this moment? Because Job wasn't all the way upright, because he had some issues that he had to deal with within himself. The things that Job wasn't an all right man. Let me tell you why. Go to Job 3:25. Because Job had still some impurities that he had to deal with within himself. He was an upright man to a certain extent, but the Most High knew that he still had to work on Job. It says like this, in Job 3:25, he says, For the things which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me. I was not in safety, neither had I rest, neither was I quiet, yet trouble came. See, Job still had some work that needed to be done within him. Just like the Most High has some work that needs to be done in us. That's why, who's guiding you? Who's leading you? Who's making you say the things that you say? Who's making you do the things that you do? Which angel or which watcher is doing it? Is it the Hashatan or is it the other angels? Are you still following his will and his purpose? Let's go to the second point in Daniel chapter 4. The second point is, let's go to 17. It says, this manner is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. The reason why everything is happening right now the way it's happening, because the Most High wants you to know that you are not in control. He wants you to know that you're not in control. Women gave threats to men. Women said this, and women called men this. But the Most High was still letting you know, woman, you ain't in control of nothing. I'm in control. You should have been saying, let thy will be done, Father. Or you should have stayed out of the whole situation in itself. The Most High is doing this to let you know you're not in control of nothing. Woman, you don't need to be in control. Let us go to Psalms 9:16. It reads, Yahuwah is known by the judgment which he execute. The wicked is snared in the works of his own hands. The wicked is to be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the expectations of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Yahuwah, let not man prevail. Let the heathens be judged in thy sights. But put fear, but it says, put them in fear, O Yahuwah, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. You heard what it says in 16? Yahuwah is known by the judgment which he executes. So everything that you see on the earth today is done by the will of the Father. You got to see what spirit is guiding you in this moment to make you be revealed by the Most High. What type of heart you have. What type of mindset you have. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 25. Listen to this. We can only see the Father by what is going on in the earth. We can only see the Father by what's going on in the earth. It said, I will execute, Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 17. It reads, I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebuke, and they shall know that I am Yahuwah when I shall lay my vengeance upon them. Everything that you get in your life is because of judgment, whether it's a good judgment or bad judgment. Everything that you're going through in your life and that you're going to go through in your life is based on how you are and how you think and the way your personality is. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It's all about you, but it ain't about you. Last one, go back to Daniel, chapter 4, verse 17. It says, this dream I, Nebuchadnezzar, has been, verse 17, it says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demands by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruled the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the base of men. What that means? He gonna give it to whoever he wanted to, how he want to do it, and the way he want to do it. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be for his purpose and his glory. Let us go to Exodus chapter 9, verse 16.